In this video, to help you master the use of the graphing calculator, we're going to talk about if you have a relationship between x and y. For example, suppose you have the relationship y equals 3x plus 4. The solutions to this equation are ordered pairs that make it true. Usually, when you're trying to find some of those ordered pairs, you have made a t-chart. And it is quite common to pick values for x, plug those in to generate values for y. The x's are known as the independent variables. The y's are known as the dependent variables. All right, what I'd like to do is do this by hand, but then turn around and do it with the calculator. So, doing this exact problem, suppose that I have x is 4, and I want to know what is the corresponding y. To do it algebraically, you would say y is equal to 3x plus 4. You would plug in that value, so that's 3 parentheses 4 plus 4. Use the order of operations, that's 12 plus 4, or 16. So when x is 4, y is 16. That means that the ordered pair 4, 16 would fall in the graph of this relationship. Now, how do I do this with a calculator? How do I fill out a t-chart, putting in a 4? How can I get the calculator to help me calculate the y value? All right, going to my calculator. The first thing I need to do is do the table set. If I go to second of the window key, it is table set. When you turn your calculator on brand new, it will be, by default, it will look like this. For the independent and for the dependent, it will be auto. And if it is, if that's the way it is, and it would be when you buy the calculator, and you do second of the graph key, which is table, it automatically sets the x's to go in a sequence of numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and then calculates the y. Now, if I'm going to work on this problem, I have to start in the y equals and type this function in. Y equals 3, variable x, plus sign, 4. Now, if I go to table under the current settings, and I did second of the graph key, it says when x is 0, y is 4. When x is 1, y is 7. When x is 4, y is 16, which is what I got here. But what if I was asked, for instance, what if x is negative 17? Then we would have to do y is equal to 3 times negative 17 plus 4. 3 times negative 17 is negative 51 plus 4. Y is negative 47. Now, if I were doing that with my calculator, I don't see that, and I would have to scroll up, and I would have to scroll for quite a while to get the negative 17, and I don't want to have to do that. I could, let me keep going. There it is. Whoops. And I hit that too many times. It's continuing to go. Please stop. Way down here at negative 17, you see the y value is negative 47, and that's what I got when I worked it out by hand. All right, I've wandered around a little bit with this topic. This is second of the window key, which is table set. This is when it's in auto mode. I'm going to go down. I don't care what table start is. I don't care what delta table is. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to hit the right arrow. I'm going to hit enter so that it selects ask. Now this has probably been covered in a previous video, but I always want my table to be set with the independent variable in ask mode. Now I'm going to get out of there. Second of the mode key is quit. That will get me out of any menu. And now I want to go back to table. Now when I go in, it's blank because it is waiting for you to tell it what X should be. You don't have to pick it from a list. You get to pick. So if I were doing the first problem, I would type in 4, enter, and there's my 16. If I were doing the second problem, I would do little negative 17, enter, and there's negative 47. I could do 985 for X, and the Y value would be there. So if you just give me an X, I can find the Y. And because these are functions for each X, there will be one and only one Y value. So when you are working on given an X, find a Y, you want to, let's write that down, given X, find Y. You want to make sure table set has independent variable in ask mode. Then go to make sure that you, of course, have to have your Y equals in there. For all of these, you have to have some function in the Y equals for it to be looking at. And then you will go to table. You will type in X. You will get Y. So it is one of the very easiest things you can do with this calculator. So that's our little video on if you have a relationship, a function, an equation between X and Y. If you have an X value and you want to know the corresponding Y value, you're always going to use table. Okay, that's this video.